Good afternoon. Thank you for having me as part of this gathering of powerful women from around the world. It is a great honor for me, a child of South Africa and of the struggle against apartheid, to be seen as a sister with you in the struggle against the oppressive regime in Iran. And it is always an honor for me to be with you, Madame Rajavi, and all the other sisters who are leaders in this struggle in Iran. Whenever we gather, whenever we raise our voices, whenever we stand up to oppression, we strike a blow for liberation. What oppressors dream of most is that the oppressed will remain silent. What oppressors dream of most is breaking the spirit of those whom they oppress. What oppressors dream of most is acquiescence on the part of those who suffer, particularly the silence of the world vis-a-vis those who suffer. So whenever we gather and we raise up the names of those struggling against oppression, we have already claimed freedom. Whenever we gather and put in front of one another the picture of the world we are struggling for, we are already a step towards that place. And as we gather here today, talking specifically about the issues surrounding women and women's liberation in Iran, we are also talking more generally about the real and proper place of women throughout the world. I come from a country that during apartheid, black women were considered children for their whole lives, that they had no rights to make decisions for themselves. They were seen as perpetual minors. I grew up in a system where my grandmother, when her husband died, was told that she could not stay on the farm that they had owned because as a black woman, she could not own property and was forced to go out and work as a domestic worker to support her children. But in that struggle, she determined that she was going to educate, in particular, her daughter, so that her daughter would never find herself in the position that my grandmother found herself in. And when I listen to the women in the struggle in Iran, I hear the echoes of my grandmother's story. When I listened yesterday to the young woman talking about her mother, whispering to her that, "Don't fear, fear not. You are going to go forward. You are going to be free, even if I don't make it. But you are going to be part of a free Iran." I heard the stories of so many women in South Africa who told us, my grandmother, who told me that, you know, I might never see a free South Africa, but I know that you, daughter of my daughter, will live in a free South Africa. And you know, the amazing thing is that when I voted for the first time in our country's elections, I was 34 years old. That grandmother who said she might not see a free South Africa voted in that free South Africa, 91 years of age. So don't tell me So don't try and tell me that freedom is a pipe dream. I know the reality that when a people is determined, nothing can stand in their way. And even more, when women have decided that things are going to change, things change. When women decide that our place is at the forefront of our struggle, then our struggle is all but won. I remember in the 80s in South Africa was a time of a state of emergency. And it seemed that every day we were hearing stories of our brothers and sisters in the struggle being killed by the apartheid regime, being forced into exile, being banned, being banished. And it seemed that this oppression was never going to end. And at that time, I said to somebody, you know what? I believe that what we see are the last kicks of a dying horse. That the apartheid regime knows that their time has come. And they are fighting with all their might to stop the flow of history. But even they know that around the corner is the end. And as we listen to what is going on in Iran, when we see the regime trying to say that anybody who comes into the country is coming because they support the regime, that we know that too is the kicks of a dying horse. They know that their days are numbered. They know that freedom is around the corner. They know that they cannot maintain this system of oppression on a people who have determined to be free. They know that they have struck the women and they have struck a rock. They know. They know. They know. And try as they might to pretend that they are in control. Try as they might to pump up markets and try and find partners for trade, that those are just facades. That the reality is that the people of Iran will be free. That the reality is that women of Iran will be free to live in dignity. That the next generation of Iranian leaders is right here, right now. Thank you.